welcome back to the channel, everyone. Alright, so today I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm going to continue with the technique specific series, if I can call it that now. In fact, I've already been on the water, I've already caught 2 fish. I have done a previous intro, but I left out so much. Right, so the first thing I'm going to tackle today, hopefully I can get up to a free bait, so we'll see. First thing I'm tackling is spinnerbait. Look, it is winter, so it is not the ideal time, but you can still catch them in the winter. You just got to slow down a bit. Okay, first thing, let's talk about the rod. Rods are very some guys like a medium heavy, some guys like mediums. I prefer this specific. Usually I would use a medium heavy with a nice tip on it, like a nice slow bend to it. But this is a medium with a fast action, not an extra fast, so it's still got a lot of bend to it. And it's rated for a 3/4 ounce lure, so it's a heavy medium, if that makes sense. So yeah, I don't know if you guys can see this here. Let's top it around. Okay, so this is a medium heavy, 7 foot fast taper. Reel, yeah, it just depends on yourself. I'm not going to tell you you have to use a 6.3 to 1 or a 7.2 or whatever, because on a kick boat I use this rod for chatterbaits, spinnerbaits, small swim baits, an array of things. So yeah, this is a 7.2 to 1 though. I like the 8 to 1. I'm actually giving this one a go, and it's actually not bad. It's quite nice to slow myself down a bit more during winter, because they are going to be a bit more lethargic. So that's your rod. Spinnerbaits really doesn't matter which brand. Honestly, I'm not going to tell you to go buy XYZ brand. What you do need to look at is that you've got a nice strong wire, and then the blades. You don't want something too big or too small. Well, they have their places, but if you're just starting out spinnerbait fishing, this is probably a really good place to start. Something with it's a 3/8 ounce, so I pretty much exclusively fish 3/8 ounce spinnerbaits. This is what you call a Colorado blade. If you can pick that up, it's a bit rounder, and then you've got your Indiana blade. That's a good combo to start with if you're starting out. Once you've been spinnerbait fishing for a while, you can really, you can spread your wings from there, if I can call it that. You can go double willow, double Colorado if you really want to slow it down, double willow if you really want to speed it up. But this is just to get the basics going, and if you're going to start throwing spinnerbaits, this is a good place to start. User friendly, it's going to stay up because of that little Colorado, it's going to have some thump. So the second you feel there's no more thump, set the hook, because it could very possibly be a fish that's taken it and stopped the blades from turning. Yeah, I think that pretty much oh yeah, and line wise, okay, I've got 15 or 16 pound, I'm not sure, on here, fluorocarbon, so it's a nice weight, it's a nice size. I can use it for multiple things. I use it for my chatterbaits as well. So alright, let's get going. I'll probably play the 2 clips of I actually caught 2 fish already, so yeah, let's get going. Here we go. He hit slack into it big time. Big time slack into that. What that means is they hit it and they came forward. And don't force them, because otherwise you're just going to bend open your spinnerbait too much. So you just fight them lightly. Not a big one, but it's a keeper. Oh yeah, it's like a 34 centimeter fish. So it's a nice solid keeper. And I'm pretty sure it's the same one that bit on the previous cast as well. 90% sure. Let's see if we can get another one here. I mean, as you can see, it doesn't really look like much, but basically what it represents is bait fish, smaller bait fish, bigger bait fish chasing smaller bait fish. That's the concept, the idea. So it really does work. So there's a couple of different ways you can fish it. Just crate out chuck and wind kind of technique, get it out there. Then you can yo-yo it, let it drop down right to the bottom, pick up your rod tip, take up the slack, let it drop down. And then there's other techniques where you basically cast out and you'll twitch it. So you'll reel and then give it a snap, like a nice firm snap. And then just carry on reeling, nice firm snap, carry on reeling, stop. Be erratic with it, that's the whole thing here. It's bait fish being chased, they're not just swimming in a straight line, they're being erratic. So that's the only way that you're going to make it look more natural. So it's just like reel it. Sometimes they really just want you to crawl it. Just crawl it. Don't do anything to it. Maybe give it a pause, carry on crawling it. And sometimes that actually works. But yeah, on the day you need to figure it out, see what they want. It is very cold, the water, so I'm predicting they're going to probably take it on the drop close to these grass mats on the outside here. As I cast it out, if I let it just drop down, they're probably going to pick it up on the way down, or maybe just as I start reeling. But yeah, as I said, this is an amazing bait. I mean, my very first comp I ever won back in 2005 was 100% thanks to a spinnerbait. Without this bait, wouldn't have happened. Well, not the specific one, but yeah. Colors wise, yeah, two main colors, white and chartreuse, and something more bluegilly, like a green pumpkin with maybe a little bit of orange in it or a little bit of purple in it. That's the way to go for me. I don't mix and match. I don't have a lot of spinnerbaits, but I don't need them. I just have two basic colors that I work on, and they work most of the time. There we go, there we go. That feels good. I'm not gonna force it. Let's see, 8. Nah. It's just a strong fish, unfortunately, but I'm still okay. Yeah. Come here. As I said, that rod, just look at it. That's key. Allows it to get it in properly. Also another keeper again, not a big one. That's the thing about spinnerbait fish, I'll take it really hard. Okay. Yeah, so today they just want a constant slow movement. No funny twitching, just chuck and wind, but slowly. More springtime for me. That's for me an amazing springtime bait. And then summertime, I'll fish it in the summer, but usually early morning, late afternoon. I mean, there is an exception depending on the cover. If it's overcast day, slightly dirtier water, then I'll still use it even in the summer all day long. And when there's wind, that helps. Fortunately, there's not much up there yet, but it should be coming. There we go. Another one. It's got a nice little head shake to it. Tell me you're a little bit bigger than the other guys. I don't want to force it too much. Come out there. Decided to make its way down. It's a little bit better than the others. Nah, about the same again. Oh, now look at this. I actually hooked him on the top, and that's why it felt so funny. There we go. So. Thank you for opening up the mouth. I actually hooked him on the top of the back. So that tells me they don't really want it. Just slapping at it, but being a nice sharp hooks, you will get a hook into them sometimes. Thank you, Guy, for playing. And no, I don't have a trailer hook. Trailer hooks, yeah, you can fish them. They work well. Just depends. Like, there's a lot of grass. I'm just going to be hanging up in the grass the whole time. So hence the reason I opted not to use a trailer hook. Oh, that fish was quite shallow. Problem is there's a lot of grass here, and I'm gonna get hung up the whole time if I try and chuck in there. And there we go. That's better. That's definitely better, unless it's weirdly hooked again. I hope not. Come out there. Got me into the grass now. I don't want to pull too hard. I don't want to open the spinnerbait up. Let's see. What are you looking like? Oh yeah, that's net worthy. Definitely. And that, my friends, that's the power of a spinnerbait. Yeah. Only problem is, look at how I had to bend that thing open. That is, yeah, that's very far. I don't even know if I'll be chucking that spinnerbait again, because yeah, it's going to create a weak point. I didn't even bring a scale, but you guys can see how broad this fish is. This is definitely over a kilo. It's so broad and so fat. Let's get a length on this little girl quickly. You know, she's 42.5, but she has got a lot. She's very tall. Anyway, I'm not going to keep her out too long. Thank you. Ooh. Okay. Let's get this out of here. Yeah, she ran me into the grass and I had to force her. And yo, that is not good news. Yeah, that is not good. If you are going to bend them back, do it very slowly. Manipulate the wire a little bit so you don't have to bend that main section back too much. Okay, you got it fun to tune them. Basically, just check if it's still running straight. Nope, it's leaning over to the one side, so I need to, okay, yeah. Should be better now. Ah, perfect. I can burn it and it's coming in straight. Okay, well, as always, I forgot to do an outro on the water. Sorry guys and girls. Yeah, I basically called it after that fish. I did chuck the spinnerbait once or twice after that, and I just didn't feel comfortable because that spinnerbait bent open badly. And yeah, if I hooked into a big fish, it probably would have snapped and that fish would have ended up with a hook in it indefinitely. So I just, yeah, I had other things to do on the water still, so I just canned it. But yeah, I hope this helped you. I probably left out quite a bit of info. I mean, trying to cover everything while you're in water and trying to put it into like a 15-20 minute video, especially something like spinnerbaits, yeah, it's difficult because yeah, you can really go down a rabbit hole when it gets to spinnerbaits. I mean, there's so much still to learn about it. Blade colors, all those kind of things, and that is something I did wanted to mention. I did forget about the blade colors. Look, this is just general rule of thumb. You got to play with these things when you're on the water. Generally, when you're sitting with super clear water, they say silver blades is the way to go, and when it's more stained the water and maybe cloudy, you want to go something with gold blades. But yeah, in all honesty, it doesn't always work like that. You've got to play around with it. Yeah, as I said, hope it at least helped you guys a little bit, especially for the beginners that want to get into spinnerbait fishing. I think if there's something you can take away from this video, is the one thing you can't skimp on when you're going spinnerbait fishing is your rod. You need a rod that's got a little bit of give, a little bit of loading up. It really just helps you hook your fish better, it helps you fight them better, it helps you not bend open the spinnerbait. Sometimes you just can't help it. If a fish runs you into something, you've got to force him, and that's going to bend open it by the spinnerbait. But yeah, for most of the time, it's going to help you a lot. You're not. Sorry, the bird wants in on the action. Anyhow, the next one up is a lipless video. And yeah, let's see how that one went. Take care everyone, and keep an eye out for the next video. As always, please comment, like and subscribe. I really do appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Thanks a lot everyone. Take care.